Hi there, it's Tim with Far North Magic. I'm going to be using a few Legends cards as props and get uh, use my Tabernacle for a reason. Because we're going to be going over looking at some of the numbers for the Dominaria United uh, Lost Legends. So I end up taking some information from the article that was on Daily MTG. I am taking some pricing data from MTG stocks that I printed out to figure it out the numbers, and then just the print run, the rough print run of like the set distribution, which I end up writing down there. One thing I didn't factor in for was I didn't factor in the C2s and the U2s because I'm like, I just don't know exactly how to factor that in completely because I didn't I guess get to drill down that deep, but I'm not sure that it would make much of a difference with the C2s and C1s because most of the commons are very, very cheap, like as we'll see in the future. So one reason why I wanted to look at the numbers was there are two types of box distributions that they came up with for Legends. They had a A box and a B run. So the A box had Mana Drain and like land tax, and the B box had the B run had Caracas. So the boxes in question for the Lost Legends is the Caracas run where you don't get a mana drain. So I was trying to figure out, like, does that really change the estimated value? Because there were a few estimated values that I saw, and I'm like, okay, well, are the cards that aren't included being factored out? And I found it interesting that like the numbers were still very, very close, considering, and I think that's partly because it not being just like complete sets that were purchased, it really makes it like you could be missing some very good cards and not have it impact like everything too much. So so some things that okay, so starting off, we have Legends. We have the rarity breakdown was 121 rares, 114 commons, uncommons, I mean, 75 commons for 310 cards. We're looking at the B run, which is 66 uncommons. And I got that from taking the ones that weren't in the run, the cards that are excluded because of the distribution, off the 114. And then I had a column for troublesome cards. So that was the 15 cards that they excluded because of the one artist that they cut all the cards for, and a couple of the other cards with flavor text issues and stuff. So then I took that number and figured out what percentage that was. So that was like 5 to 7%. And then I did a box adjustment column as well. So for every box that Wizards would be opening, on average, they would be getting 34.2 rares, 101 instead of 108 uncommons, 368 commons instead of, I think it's 396, for a total of about 504 cards, adjusting for those troublesome cards. So then we go down to the next thing I looked at was distribution for, like, I guess the odds of getting one of the cards from the Dominaria United packs. So we ended up with 0.021% for rares, 0.061 for uncommons, and 2.2% for commons. So then that equals the 3% roughly. It's, I guess, some rounding that throws it off a little bit, but like 3.03, I kind of went with it. It does throw off the case amount by 0.02 in theory, but I'm not really super worried about that. So to get any rare, it would be 1 in 4, about, using this math, it would be about 1 in 486 packs, with an uncommon being 1 in 164, and then a common being 1 in 45, roughly. So if that was even distribution, so like it's going to be more jumbled probably in real life. So, and then I did it, the math for the box, and then the math for the case. So, and it works out to the proper odds on these two columns of what you should end up with, roughly, with equal distribution factored, not anything too crazy. So if you wanted a Tabernacle or chains of Mephistopheles, I kind of want another chains just to get a fourth one, even though that's pointless. Or maybe a nicer Tabernacle, because these two are the cards that they keep pushing in the advertising. Or maybe I want another moat. Keep those flyers at keep the non-flyers at bay. How hard would it be? So then I came up with another column of, so any specific card. So this column's kind of a weird column because it shows the total number of Legends cards that it would take to get to a specific card in theory. So if you wanted to get to a specific rare card, if you had to go open all the way to the last pack, you would have to open, you would end up with 1,695 total Legends cards, because you're ending up with a boatload of commons, like hundreds and hundreds of commons. So so then I end up multiplying that by however many the rate, so 1 in 33 packs, and then that equals however many packs, and then divide it down for the boxes, and then divide it down for the cases. So going after a specific Legends rare, as an example, would be is just a terrible idea. Sure, it's going to be pack fresh, so probably more of a near mint compared to a lot of the other near mints that are being sold as near mint, but it's still way too much money. So the troublesome cards that are missing, there are 4 key cards. So you got Darkness, and the first column is the average, and the second column is the market. So I did both on the stocks sheets that I pulled up. They had an average and a market. I assume that's TCG Player, but I'm not 100% sure. So I took the average and the market, and it's interesting that like a lot of the data, like you have a lot of market prices higher than the average. So, and that's probably because the market's rolling over. So your average, like your market price, is going to be higher until you get a lot of lower sales. So, but you're missing Darkness, which is the best best common. Missing Sylvan Library, which is second most expensive uncommon. Gwendolyn and Nether Void. Those are the 4 expensive cards out of the troublesome cards. I know Darkness isn't super expensive, but it is, as I say, the most expensive common. So that would make a difference on the common slightly, because like if you had Darkness instead of one of the other commons, and like added in Darkness's value into the average, it would increase the average by a little over like about 25 cents. So okay, so then I looked at the cards that were key cards that were missing due to it being the B run. So we're missing Mana Drain, Underworld Dreams, and Land Tax. So those are the most expensive, third most, and fifth most expensive uncommons. So then I looked at what would the expected value of a card, like what would the expected value per pack, box, case of the Legends cards factoring in, because like I know stores in the States, they've jacked up the prices for the most part. I know in Canada, where I am, some of the stores put them out before the price increase got put in, but then they jacked up the price increase, the like $20, and then some of them have also further jacked it up like another $10 or $20. So is it worth to FOMO into some more into a box or not? Like, so then, so what I did was I factored in. So I took the total number of commons, the total number of cards for each rarity. Then I minused off the troublesome cards. So then we have I put inserted, but it's just available, like the pool that is being drawn from for each rarity. So there's 70 commons with not very high value because they're commons from Legends, and not very many of them are worth a whole lot. So you get like an average of $1 and change, with like half of them being worth less than $1. And then you get uncommons. So we got a total pool of 66 with 4 that weren't included for that for reasons. So 62 with a value of in around 655. So there was a little under, a little over, depending on which if you use market or average. So it's basically the same price. So 1056, 1057. So that's not very much money either. So then we go to the rares, and you have 115 that are being inserted, and you get $20,000. But a lot of that's tied up in like $4,000 or $5,000, or like $4,000 to $5,000 for a Tabernacle. You got Emote, you got Chains, the Abyss, some other $100 cards, Mirror Universe. So definitely not really a good barometer. I guess I should have done a median for the rares, but I didn't, unfortunately. So then we got an EV. I just used the market because it was very close. I guess I should have used average because the average was a little less. But so we got common. So per case, you have $1.77 of EV, based on the average that you should get for those cards. So then for the box, 29 cents, and per pack 2 cents. For uncommon, it would add 6 cents a pack, and for rare, it would add 38 cents a pack. So you get about 47 cents a pack and $5.60 a box. So that is not worth paying an extra really anything for, because sure, you're gonna have a chance at one of these big bad boys, hundreds of dollars cards, thousands in some instances. But as we saw up here, to get the specific card, you're going for one in like 55,000, well, almost 56,000 cards. So like you're basically trying to win the lottery in a way. So I don't know. It's just to kind of look at and see, like, would it be worth buying more boxes or FOMOing into some boxes and such. Like, yes, getting one of these guys would definitely be nice. Pack Fresh. But Pack Fresh isn't 100%. Like, it's not like gem mint gradable cards either. Like, no guarantees of that. Like, sure, they have a chance of grading out better than something that's been kicking around for days and years and such. But I guess it's just looking at it to see, like, is it worth, like, it's a nice chase, but it's not it's not worth way overspending for. Like, sure, there's going to be a nice gambling premium on the sealed boxes later on, as more and more get opened, and it's going to be a big deal when it comes out. But I also don't want people to go too like, I wouldn't feel comfortable with people going too crazy, just because it's a long shot at hitting a big card. Like, you're much better off just saving up for a big card and getting it that way, in a way. Like, it's nice to have them do this also, in a way, because I need a lot of commons and uncommons for Legends. So it might give me a chance at some of those cards at a reasonable price, that are actually in near mint, compared to a a lot of them are hard to find in true near mint. So just have to see. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Are you buying a bunch of double masters? Not double masters. Dominaria United. Jeez, I'm all confused. Are you buying a lot of Dominaria United? And did the potential chance of getting old Legends cards get you to pre-order it already? And what did you pay for your pre-order if you did pre-order? I'd like to know. Thanks again for stopping by, and I hope this was of some use. And let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care, and have a good rest. Have a good one. Bye.